One word. I am your hair loss daddy. You're just bad at counting. Let's check out this comment. And people have been leaving comments like this. It's time that I address it. I mean, granted, I make this video like 7 times a year, but people like me to keep making the video over and over, just wearing a different shirt each time. And I mean, granted, things have changed a little bit over time, so let's do this thing. I made a video called, Do I Actually Have Diffuse Thinning? My New Short Haircut. Our great friend, Jasmine Dyshidrotic. Let's assume that I didn't mispronounce it just then. He's been watching my channels for a while, and I appreciate you being here, by the way. Here's the comment, quote, I might think that when you stopped being a vegan, you got much more nutrition from different sources of food that you didn't normally, and that may have contributed to new hair growth, end quote. So let's check that out. In the past couple of weeks, I've had people ask me, they've watched some of my older videos, and they said, wait, you were a vegan, what, and now you're not? So just a brief flashback on that. Yes, I have been a non-vegan for almost a year. I think it was the end of September of 2018 that I stopped being a vegan after 5.5 years, and I had been a vegetarian for 7 years. Imagine that. So I mean, just imagine how long my life, and vegan 5.5 years. And most men aren't vegan. That's more of a girl thing. But yeah, I mean, for me, the reason I did it, just to remind everybody, is I have an incurable disease. That's a fact. However, I don't have the disease anymore. So you be the judge of that. It's called Dyshidrotic Eczema. And what happens is it affects like 1 out of 20,000 people. But what would happen is on my hands, it would form these red little blisters. And when they'd pop, it would dry up all the skin. Well, eventually, and it just starts spreading, it got to where I couldn't really move my hands anymore. And there's no medical cure for this. So best you can do, go to a doctor, get some creams and lotions, and sometimes it would get a little bit better. It may or may not have been because of the cream that you got from the doctor. And I thought, you know what? There's got to be a cause for this. And see, that's, for me, I'm all about psychology. What's the real cause of this perceived problem? You know, people want to say, I'm ugly, I'm not good looking enough because I'm balding. No, it's that you don't have a good enough personality, and you don't know who you are, and you don't have a good skill set. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to make women laugh. Those are the real issues. Sort all that out, you won't need the hair anymore, which is one of the reasons I don't care about hair. I don't care about hair loss. And if you need to watch the video that I made explaining that, do it. Otherwise, continue to be deceived that I actually care about hair loss. With that being said, so I said, God, I'll do anything. How do I get cured of this disease? And you can't assume that God will always just heal you with the thing. Sometimes he will provide those clues. He will allow you to do some research to figure it out. And for me, I realized I was eating too much processed sugar. I also, being of actual Hebrew descent, as proven through my mom's DNA test, Jewish people were told not to eat pork or shellfish, the bottom feeder. And for me, it all started when I went on my honeymoon 11 years ago to New England and ate nothing but shellfish. So I cut out shellfish from my diet, and it started getting better. I cut out processed sugar largely from my diet. It got better. Then it got to the point, since I wasn't eating pork, shellfish, or much added sugar, then I cut out a lot of red meat. And then eventually, I cut out most meat just by accident. And then I was like, oh, I'm a vegetarian now? I didn't realize that. And then a couple years later, I was like, why don't I just cut out eggs and dairy too? And then my sinus problems went away. In hindsight, and it took me all those years, I realized here was the real issue. And this is where I'm at right now, in August of 2019. I still don't eat pork or shellfish. And I think that's important for people of Jewish descent, as I undeniably am, that I think Jewish people have a genetic weakness that they can't tolerate bottom feeder animals eating them. That's what I believe, and I think that's why that law was given to people who were Jewish long ago. That's what I believe. That's what I choose to believe. So I still am abiding by that rule. I'm also not drinking milk. Even though I have dairy, I realize that when I drink milk, that's what messes up my sinuses. And what I started doing is I started doing kind of reversing my veganness, and I got to where was like, well, what can I get away with? And I realized, strangely enough, in addition to staying away from animals that were not kosher, also I can't have tuna and I can't have salmon unless it's wild caught. Tilapia is another one I can't have. So certain seafood I just can't have. But, you know, all these years later, I'm one of few people on the planet who no longer has dyshidrotic eczema that used to have it. So there's that's an important part of the backstory. So ultimately I was like, okay, well, I've learned how to still remain cured of my disease, but not have to be living by such a strict diet as being a vegan. So I'm now simply kosher. I guess that's the best label you could give me, as many Jewish people across the world are. But ultimately, did it affect the hair loss? Did my hair situation get better? Is my hair thicker because I now eat animal products again and have been doing so for nearly a year now? You know, it's funny. I'm not going to answer that because I don't know and I can't know. It's one of those things where I have always said, when your hair's shorter, it's going to expose your hair loss situation for what it really is. Granted, I did get a haircut and I've added this short in a long time, and I don't think it's really ever looked this good, this short, before. Is it thicker? Has my thinning kind of reversed? I don't know. But I was saying the same things back when I was a vegan. I was like, well, maybe the reason I still have this much hair is because I am a vegan. I don't know. I really don't know if it makes a difference either way. If becoming a vegan helped me keep hair longer, or if stopping being a vegan caused my hair to suddenly be thicker. I don't know. I honestly don't care, but ultimately my viewers do. And if you want to go back to my videos before September 2018, let you be the judge if you think my hair looks better than I'm now, you know, haven't been a vegan for that long. So there you go. I no longer have dyshidrotic eczema. I learned how to change my diet. I went to one extreme and then realized in hindsight, okay, well, I don't have to be that extreme anymore. And I'm happy. It's fine. And my weight is the same as it was a year ago when I was still a vegan. Because what happens when you become a vegan, for me, I lost a lot of weight in the first year. And then very slowly it started coming back to where I'm basically the same weight as I was before, but without the skin disease. So as far as it having any effect on my hair, I don't know. But you guys, you're the audience. I'll let you be the judge. I'll let you do the work compared to my older footage and figure that out. But I think just as easily as one might say, well, it's because you're not a vegan, that's why your hair looks better. I think someone could look back at the other videos after I became a vegan and said, your hair looks better. Why? Is it? And then I'd say, well, I'm a vegan now. And then, but see, maybe they were comparing back when in the sewer days when I'd walk out of that giant sewer as a joke, but I'd never acknowledge it. And I was outside and I was still putting a different type of pomade in my hair that wasn't water-based, it was petroleum-based. So out in the sun, walking towards the sun. So I think my hair was exposed in the worst environment, and then when I stopped shooting outside, it changed it, and then I shaved my head, and then my hair was really, as it was growing out, it looks the worst. So I mean, there's just so many environmental issues that, based on how I'm filming, may cause it to look better or worse. Ultimately, none of what I think matters. All that matters is what you believe, and what you believe belongs right here in the comments.